Hello and welcome to Francis Foster Sorts Your Life Out, the show where I indeed sort your life out. Bear in mind I'm not a therapist or anything else, so you know that the advice here is golden. It's great. It's great to see you. It's great to have people watching and listening. It's quite an interesting episode for me because obviously this is a solo one, so it'll be the best of the bunch. But not only that, it's because I am going to America on Sunday, or by the time you listen to this, I'll be in America. But anyway, I'm going to America this Sunday with TRIGGERnometry, and it's going to be an exciting time, guys. We're going all over the gaff. I'm going everywhere. I'm going to Austin, Texas. Yee-haw. Don't do that over there. They get a bit angry and they've got guns and you know what I mean. They're all like, get, you know, all of that. Yeah, and to them, I look a little bit like a lesbian, which means I'm morally compromised, is how they would see me in their kind of through their Christian lens. Nothing wrong with being Christian, but you know, some of them are a bit, Jesus loves it when I have a gun. You know what I mean? And as a man who was raised in a Catholic family, I have great respect for Christian people. Those types find me a little bit worrying. So yeah, God likes it when I got a rocket launcher. You know, those types of people. So we're going to Texas. I'm going to go to do the Joe Rogan experience, which I'm really looking forward to doing. It's always good to see Joe and to hang out at the compound, to see young Jamie, even though he's not young anymore, and his little dog, Carl, who is, he's got a little French bulldog who's he's fucking vicious. He absolutely loves a little nibble at you. He will have a little bite and a little nibble, and he's like Jack in that he loves shoelaces and attacking shoelaces. So we're going to be there. It's going to be great. We're going to be interviewing some fantastic people in Austin. We've already got some great guests booked in. And then after that, then we fly to LA. LA is going, we've got some sensational guests in LA. One of whom I'm going to hint at is a former guest of the show. He's been on twice. And he's coming back for a third time. Now, this man is famous for being critical of Mr. Donald J. Trump. And we're going to ask him, has Trump played a blinder if the ceasefire holds? Which we don't know if it will, because let's be fair, and I know this is controversial, and I know this is going to upset people. I don't think Hamas are good guys. I think they're a little bit rapey, if I'm being honest. Now, I know they're oppressed, and they're people of colour. And, they follow the religion of peace and all of this, which makes them, all oppressed. And we have to accept that. And they are victims. Of course they are. They've had it tough. But we're going to be asking this guest. And I think you can work out who it is. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of chatting. So we're going to be doing that. We've also got some other returning guests to the show who we love to have on. We've got a few of those coming on. We've got some new people. Got some historians coming on. And from there, we are then hopping north to California. We're going to San Francisco. And Jack is very looking forward to that because he's looking forward to all the homosexual activity he's going to be indulging in. He's told me that he refuses to talk. So basically, this entire episode is me baiting him until he can't hold back any longer. And he has no option but to jump in or violently assault me afterwards. So you decide what's going to happen. No, we're going to be in San Francisco. I love San Francisco. It is a wonderful city. Colder than you would initially think. You think it's California, it's warm. It's not warm. You get the winds coming right off it. I'm going to take Constantine. I'm going to take him to Alcatraz Island. And we're going to have a little bit of a lover's moment on the prison island. Because where else? We're better to have a bit of gay love. A prison island off San Francisco. Does it get gayer than that? I think not. Couple of people in big tech. We're going to be talking about how big tech is going to basically own everything that you have. But, you'll be happy. You'll own nothing. You'll be happy. That's what Schwabby said. Klaus Schwab. Schwabby is what I call him down when we play five-a-side. He's getting on a bit now, Schwabby, but still got a magnificent first touch and knows how to spray it about a bit. Then afterwards, we go to New York City. As you can see, I'm a maestro with the old accentios, and we've got another whole host of great people, and we're booking people in as we speak, and I can't wait. We're gonna have some great conversations. We're gonna meet some great people, new and old people. It's going to be brilliant. And even better than that, we're going to have some wonderful meals. And that's really what I'm looking forward to. Is it going back on JRE for the 6th time? No. Is it meeting and talking to fascinating people? No. It's getting fat. That's what I'm looking forward to. Just shoveling it all in. It's going to be wonderful. I can't wait to how absolutely fat I'm going to be. Francis, what's your favourite restaurant there? Great question, although a complicated one. We've only a short episode, so it will take up about 7/8 of it. First time we did JRE. You're only getting this, by the way, on Francis Foster Sorts Your Life Out. First time we did Joe Rogan Experience, back in the halcyon days of July 2022, when the producer, Jackie, was nothing more but a perverted viewer and listener, watching from the sidelines, hand in pocket with a sinister little smile on his face. We went on and did Joe Rogan, and we were so nervous before we went on. I was so incredibly nervous. The previous day, I hadn't eaten, practically hadn't eaten anything for me, which is how you know I was in a state. In the morning, probably had a borderline panic attack. I was so nervous. I was literally... Anton, who is a former producer and now in charge of all the advertising, he realised I was so nervous. He took me for a walk. In order to get some breakfast tacos because my legs were shaking, and then I had a coffee. We went in, we met Joe, and then we went to do the show. And I was so nervous in the show. The first hour of the show was basically me doing this. Woke is bad. And we did 4.5 hours on the show. And he said, guys, I've loved that. That was awesome. And we had to go and interview a Mr. Theo Von. Theo came round to our Airbnb, and I was off my noggin, as was Constantine. On life, may I just add. There's nothing else, nothing untoward here. It was just on life, and because we'd just done the show, and we interviewed Theo Von, in which he ripped the piss out of us for me not being able to do the intro properly. And he said the words, "Oh, bro, you've got to do better than that." Anyway, we had an interview, which we thought was good. We didn't realise it was going to break the internet. We didn't realise that wherever we were going to go from then on in, I was going to a room. It doesn't matter where we were in America. People would look at me and go, "You guys have," we call it autism. We then went to go and watch Rogan's Comedy Club. It was at the Vulcan then on 6th Street in Austin. And we watched Tony Hinchcliffe, we watched Joe, and we watched Theo Von. And Theo smashed it so hard. Everyone had a great set, by the way, but he smashed it so hard that Anton said, that's the best comedy set I've ever seen. And I said, Anton, I'm right here. And he didn't even acknowledge it. And then after that, we were hungry and happy. And we asked Joe, where's the best place to go in Austin for burgers? He said the Golden Tiger. So we went and had a burger at the Golden Tiger, and it was indeed magnificent. We will be going back to the Golden Tiger, Jackie. You looking forward to it? Yeah, it's going to be great. We're gonna have a wonderful, wonderful time. So really looking forward to it. That's everything that's going to happen in America. Make sure to follow us. It's just going to be wonderful. I can't wait. So with no further ado, I'm here to sort out your problems. All your problems, give them to me. Dear Francis, I can't decide if influencer culture is freedom or slavery. People performing authenticity for strangers to survive. Is that any different to acting for applause? Well, it's performing, isn't it? It's show business, dear boy. As Laurence Olivier said to Dustin Hoffman on the set of Marathon Man. Have you heard this anecdote, Jackie? So Dustin Hoffman was a very famous method actor, and Dustin Hoffman would famously do ridiculous things in order to get into character because he wanted to believe that he was the character. The basis of method acting is that you lose yourself in the character and that you're not acting anymore; you were just being. That's it. It was founded by Lee Strasberg. at the studio acting, the studio in New York, acting school. He was doing all of this stuff to get into character. And apparently Laurence Olivier looked at him and said the words, "Have you tried acting, dear boy?" Very, very famous quote. But anyway, there you go. Is that any different to acting for applause? Look, it's a performance. You are not being yourself. You're playing a heightened version of yourself. Some of the dials are turned up. Some of the dials are turned down. If you went out and were a version of who you are on stage or in camera, you would be a cunt. People would be like, "Mate, get off the cocaine. What are you doing? Stop being like that. This is disgusting." I know, because people have done it to me. Thank you, mother. If you think influencer culture is slavery, then you've got no idea about slavery. Do you think that a child working down a diamond mine in Sierra Leone goes, "Hey mate, well at least I'm glad I'm not an influencer. This job is a piece of piss. Don't let anybody tell you differently. This is the easiest gig on planet Earth. And if you think this is tough, you have never had a proper job, my man." I have worked in bars, in working class men's clubs, in rough-ass parts of South London. I've taught in East London, deprived parts of East London, otherwise known as East London. I've taught in South London. I've taught in Cornwall. I've taught in deprived parts of the south of England. This is a piece of piss. You know what's tough? Breaking up a fight between two gypsy kids when they're trying to knock each other's heads off. That's tough. Holding back a mum because she wants to deck one of the kids in your class. That's tough. Breaking up two grandmothers, a fight between two grandmothers, incidentally, both of whom were younger than me. That's tough. Each of them with about 6 teeth in their head trying to bite each other. People go out there and do hard jobs. Men working on oil rigs. Men stepping into rings, fighting people. Going out, working on building sites. Grafting day in. Do you think this is... Come on. Men producing podcasts. That's real graft. Sitting there, editing. There's nothing more masculine than doing this. Click. That's work. Not this. Chatting into a microphone. Piece of piss, mate. So no, influencer culture or whatever it is. Listen, if people want to watch you and they want to listen to you and you can monetize that and you can earn money from that, congratulations, you're killing it. You're doing a lot better than the vast majority of the population. You've won. It's a game of life and you are winning it. Be grateful. Don't moan about slavery. Do you think there was somebody who got captured on the west coast of Africa, had his balls cut off by the Ottomans, put into the trans-Saharan slave trade to end up slaving for some Ottoman prince in some godforsaken shithole somewhere? And he was like, "Oh, glad I'm not on TikTok." Grow up. This is a piece of piss, and we're lucky to be doing it. Anyway, send me money. Next, Jackie. Dear Francis, I lent my friend a coat last winter and she's still wearing it. Every time I see her, I get quietly furious. Do I ask for it back or accept I've lost both coat and... Listen to me. A good coat, and I will stand by this, if you spend $500 on a coat, people may look down on you. But if that coat lasts you for 7-8 years, which a good coat should do, you have saved money, my friend, as long as you look after it and you treat it properly. I hate people who borrow clothes and don't give them back. It is a sign of somebody of low moral character, a weakness, somebody who has got dry rot of the soul. That's what it is. There is nothing worse than somebody who takes your clothes and then continues to wear them. It's vile. And I use that word, and I'm going to use it again. It's vile. Someone's clothes are personal to them. I'll tell you how personal they are. You leave your clothes somewhere and you go, "Is this mine?" What's the first thing you do? You give it a good smell. You go, "Oh yeah, this is mine. This belongs to me." That's what clothes are. They're our second skin. They represent us in some way. You know, you sweat in them. You're fused in them. And then she just goes and takes it. It's entirely unacceptable. Your clothes, in some ways, represent you. With your favourite clothes. Like, this is a simple black Hugo Boss jumper, and I love it. I bought it on sale, cost me about 40 knicker. It's sleek, it's sharp, it's stylish. Shaki, shut your face, stop sneering. And I love it. It's one of my favourite jumpers. You wear it, it looks good in and around, you can walk around it. But also, you pair it with a nice pair of jeans, some smart trainers. You can go on a date with a girl that you don't particularly like, who you don't want to dress up for. And the people who then take those clothes and then don't give them... No, it's theft is what it is. I think you need to call her out on it and go, look, Stacey, this is my coat. I like this coat. This coat is mine. Could I please have it back? And if you call her out on it, I guarantee she'll give it back to you. There we go. Next one, please, Jackie. Dear Francis, I told a friend she only got a job because she's a diversity. Oh, you fucking didn't. Why did you do that? Don't do that. She hasn't spoken to me. Shall I apologise? I value the friendship, but I also value truth. How do you know she's a diversity hire? Like, in all seriousness, you don't know. Like, maybe she is. Maybe she is a diversity hire. Maybe she got her job because, you know, she ticked the box. She's a woman, or she's a black woman, or a brown woman, Asian woman, whatever it may be. Well, I don't know, a white one. Who cares? Maybe she did. But what gives you the right to make that choice? You don't know for certain, number one. Number two, why would you say that to someone? You value the truth. No, you don't. You're just jealous and angry that she's got a job that you don't think she deserves. And who are you to judge whether she deserves it or not? Everything in your life have you got because you deserved? Have you deserved every little thing that you've got? Every little opportunity that you fell into your lap, have you deserved? Every single job? Everything? Have you really deserved that? I don't think you probably have. I'm certain that I haven't had it. I haven't been given it. There's stuff that I'm sure I've been given that I haven't deserved. I'm not surprised she's upset. And let's say she has been given it to a diversity hire. Do you think she likes that deep down? You don't think that makes her insecure? You don't think that actually, she probably feels a little bit guilty about it? Of course she does. But also, let's say you get offered something you don't deserve. What, you're going to turn it down because you don't deserve it? No, of course you're not. You're going to take the opportunity. You're going to run with it. If I got given something I didn't deserve, I wouldn't be like, well, I didn't deserve this. So, no, I'd be like, yes, please. I fucking deserve it. Now give me it. I'm going to go and do whatever I do. No, so like this, you know, you marketing yourself was like, oh, but I tell the truth. No, you don't. You're jealous. You're jealous. You had a little go at your friend. You had a little bite at the ankle. Because you're jealous, because you think she had an opportunity that you don't think she deserved. And really, it's not about her, it's about you. Her success made you feel insignificant, unseen, all the rest of it, whatever else it may be. So you decided to have a little nibble at her. I mean, that's really what's going on here. You had a little nibble at her, and now you're feeling bad because she got pissed off, and she has every right to. Let me tell you something. Meritocracy, or whatever it is, it don't fucking exist. An industry can be more meritocratic than others. I accept that. But the idea that something is a pure meritocracy doesn't exist. If you're good looking, you're more likely to be given opportunities because people want to fuck you. Is that fair? No. But it's just the way it is. If you're tall and a man, you're more likely to be given opportunities and you're more likely to be able to shag more women. Is that fair? Absolutely yes, because I'm 6 foot and magnificent. Life is not fair in any shape or form. If you are smart, that's not up to you. That's a genetic gift. So all of these things, the aptitudes, the gifts, the talents that you were given, this isn't fair. None of it is fair in the true sense of the word. So what are you going to do? All you can do in life is when you see people doing well, just be happy and celebrate their success. Because if you do that, I guarantee you're going to be more likely, people are going to be more likely to celebrate your success and be happy for you. So if somebody's doing well, or they're doing good work, or they've got a good opportunity, just go to them, well done. That's all you got to do, and be happy for them. She got this job. It made you feel insignificant. It made you feel lesser than. So you know what you decided to do? You decided to make her feel lesser than. And that's really shitty. She didn't do anything wrong. She got given an opportunity, she took it, and she's working hard. Now, I don't know how well she's doing at that job. Maybe she's crushing it. Maybe she's just getting by. I don't know. But why have you decided to make her laugh harder just because you feel she doesn't deserve it, when the reality is it's not up to you to make that judgment? So give your head a wobble. It's very difficult to find friends, maintain a friendship, keep a friendship going. And what you've just done is you've upset and hurt a friend. So be the bigger person and apologise. Dear Francis, I caught my dad lying about voting Labour after years of Tory loyalty. He said, I just wanted to fit in at work. Is hypocrisy always wrong or sometimes just survival? Look, a lot of people vote Tory and deny voting Tory. Although I think if you vote Tory at the next election, you're an absolute mug. Look, I get it. When I was in teaching, everybody voted Labour. Actually, I told people that I don't vote Labour and they didn't like it. But look, that's just me. Don't base what you're doing on my life. I'm an idiot. I will happily go on and fight everybody and then just wonder why it is I'm miserable and alone. He said, is hypocrisy always wrong or is it sometimes just survival? Look, sometimes you just got to get by. Maybe your dad's struggling at the moment. Maybe they're making redundancies and maybe he's thinking to himself, oh my God, you know what? I'm getting a little bit older now. It's more likely I'm being made redundant. It's more likely that I'm going to lose my job. I need to keep my head down here. I need to ingratiate myself with the rest of the staff and the bosses and whatever else. And I've got to do everything I can to keep my job. So I'm just going to do a little white lie about voting Labour. I mean, can you blame him? Times are tough. It's harder and harder to make ends meet. It's harder and harder to put food on the table. It's hard and it's tough. So no, I don't blame your dad who says he's voting Labour. I don't blame him. Life's hard, mate. Especially if you work in a lefty-dominated industry like comedy or whatever else, or teaching, where you know you're going to be denied opportunities. You know there's going to be people making up egregious lies about you simply because you think or believe differently or see the world in a different way. Look, the path that I've taken by pissing off an entire industry and then going and then fighting for them, fighting against them, like, not everybody can do it. It takes a certain type of moron to do that. You know? I wouldn't recommend it. Look, it can work out really well, and I'm very grateful it did. But for other people, it works out less well. Particularly if you work in an industry like, I don't know, like you're an engineer and you need to rely on people. It's hard. It's incredibly difficult and isolating to tell people what you really think. And then people will come up to you and go, oh, you're really brave. Oh, I really admire you. And they're like, yeah, well, why don't you fucking do it then? Well, they don't want to do it because it's not easy. And you got to sacrifice something and you got to put something on the line. And maybe for your dad, he has to put too much. And that would involve putting the family at risk, or maybe he hasn't paid off the mortgage, or maybe he has to still put kids through school or university, wherever it may be. You know what I mean? So you got to think, man. It's easy to look in at somebody and go, oh, you should have done that, you should have done that. If that was me, I would have done this and I would have done that. That's easy, man. It really is. It really is. What's hard is actually really just walking that walk. If you're so anti-hypocrisy, what about you? What about your life? You never tell a lie? You never bullshit someone in order to fit in? You've never said something that you really don't believe in because it might get you a step closer to being to being able to romance a particular woman or get on the next step of the dating, whatever this thing is, dating path hierarchy. I don't know what it is. You've never done that? Really? Come on, my man. We've all done it. You, me, and every single other person. We are all hypocrites. We are all flawed. We are all broken. So this idea that, hypocrisy always wrong and then pointing at your dad. What about you, my friend? How about you point the finger instead of your old man? Why don't you point it at you? And maybe if you point it at you, you'll find that actually you're not as squeaky clean as you once thought. Because nobody is. Least of all you and least of all me. I mean, I'm fucking perfect, but you know what I mean. Dear Francis, I heard someone say straight white men need to sit this decade out. Is that justice or just revenge with a nicer slogan? Here's the thing. The person who is saying that is a person who chants slogans. When you're talking with somebody who is a person who chants slogans, I always think this. I always go, you don't engage with the subject critically. You don't think for yourself. You don't interrogate the idea. All you're doing is regurgitating a slogan, which means you've put actual no real thought or effort into your position. And if that is the case, if you put no real thought or effort into the position, then ultimately, why should I have to listen to you? Because if you've put no thought into it, then why should I put any thought into what you're saying? And the reality is, I shouldn't, because you're not actually engaging critically with the subject. It's a surface level, shallow, knee-jerk reaction. So why should I have anything else? I'm not saying that you don't have compassion for people. I just think when someone does that, it's like when someone goes from the river to the sea or free Palestine. I'm always like, all right, what does that mean? What does that mean? Let's actually look into this. What does that mean? And I guarantee you they have no idea. I remember when I went out for a date with this girl. First date went brilliantly. Magic was flowing, chat, pretending to be someone else, and she loved it. Second date came. Jackie's hooked in. He knows this is a good one. And then it's going well. And then I'm walking her back. We're going to get the little kiss, Jackie. Little kiss. And she goes to me, what do you think of Palestine? And I'm like, nah, fuck. And she went, there's a genocide happening. And I said, what does genocide mean? And she stopped and she went, I don't know. And at that point, I'd both won and lost, because I'd won the argument, but lost the chance for a bit of minky. It was a tragic moment for everybody. And nobody was more upset than my penis. Most people who use these phrases or use words like genocide, they don't know what they're talking about. They've got no idea. They're taking up positions because they sound and feel good, or simply because everybody else is, therefore they think they should. And then there's a small minority of people who are utterly cynical and borderline sociopathic who take these positions because they're virtue signaling. And many of them, of this tiny minority, it's because they're dreadful people, a sociopath, narcissist, or sex offenders. So what they're doing is they assume a position of virtue in order to hide and to disguise their real behavior offline, in real life, or away from their jobs. So that's what you're dealing with. The moment someone says that, you just go, oh, you don't think originally, you don't think for yourself, you're actually quite boring and tedious, this is all surface level bullshit, I don't have to engage with you, you're not particularly worthy of my time. That's how I'd see it. Free Palestine, from the river to the sea, straight white men need to sit this decade out, silence is violence. It's all just white noise, excuse the pun. It's just white noise where you're like, oh, thankfully, I don't have to listen to you. And that's all it is. You just go, thank you for doing the work for me. I don't have to listen. But guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. It's been a pleasure. We're going to go to America. We're going to explore. We're going to have adventures. We're going to have incredible conversations. I'm going to come back. I'm going to be a lot fatter. Jack said he's going to weigh me. And a disgusting example of fat shaming, which is positively fascistic, may I just say, Jack. And I do use that word in its literal sense. So yeah, I will see you back when I'm here next week or whenever it is. Take care. God bless. Freedom!